Hello guys, welcome to BYJU'S Exam Prep and welcome to the Engineering Services 2023 analysis and the answer key discussion. So initially me and Dheeraj Sardana sir are live in front of you, and here we are going to discuss the analysis of paper number 1. Yes, that has been conducted today. That is the 19th February for the ESE 2023 Prelims examination. Okay, and then soon we'll be discussing the paper 2 technical for respective branches as well. So guys, in this session we'll give you the complete idea how the paper was, and then we shall start discussing subject by subject, answer key and their approach to the question. So Dheeraj sir, over to you.
Yes, thank you sir. So guys, definitely this is a very important paper, and generally the students who are preparing, they are eager to know that how many marks would be required sir for this paper, if we have given, how was the paper, because this session is not only important for those who have given ESE paper, even for those who are going to appear in the next year also, because you will get an idea that how questions are getting framed, which are the topics from which the questions are being asked again and again, what is the relative weightage, because you know they have just mentioned 5 to 15% from every subject, but they are not sticking to that. Exactly. They are changing that everywhere.
Yeah, so let us look into those changes as well. So number one, first overall highlight. So the paper difficulty is moderate to slightly tougher level, and questions from mathematics are lengthy, including their solutions. ICT is also lengthy. When we talk about reasoning based question, the solutions will appear simple as we are going to discuss, but the question is full length. Matlab, one side of the page is just the entire question. That is little bit troublesome to the student. The question sir is lengthy. Question lengthy है, लेकिन solution lengthy नहीं. लेकिन maths के कई question का solution भी थोड़ा सा lengthy है.
सर जब question lengthy है उसमें पढ़ने में आई फिर student को बहुत ज़्यादा समय लग जाएगा.
वो students की mentality हो जाती है कि इसको छोड़ देते हैं, because especially in ESE we have very less time. 100 questions and 120 minutes only. Okay, theoretical numerical का almost equal weightage है. Assertion reasoning all on 4 question. Last year से compare करें, so there is less weightage this time given to project management and standard and quality practice, but there is slightly more weightage to aptitude and ethics and values. But guys, this is 2 or 3 subjects compared from last year, but when you compare last year to last year, of course there will be some plus and minus. So that is why abhi Dheeraj sir ne bola ki they mention some percentage, but never rely on that. Sometimes koi up chala jata hai, koi down chala jata hai. You have to prepare good, right? So if you are a next year aspirant, you have to prepare almost around 10 topics, but yeah, at least you can be strong in 6 to 7 topics.
Yes.
Right.
That will be
so okay. Dheeraj sir, good score.
120 plus should be the good score, guys. Yes. When we are saying good score, it doesn't mean कि इतने minimum चाहिए. No, it is going to be a very good score. Okay, because there are many questions which are requiring some data, which if you don't remember, you cannot do the question. Correct. That is going to be same for everyone. Some questions are also even that various calculations are required without calci, which is going to be difficult as well.
Correct. So, sir, looking into weightage, so many of the subjects are aligned with the weightage. ये जो 3 subjects हैं, current affairs, aptitude and maths, they are given exactly 15 questions.
Yes, sir.
Okay, and then
15 questions means 30 marks.
30 marks. So that is what, even just sir हमने sessions लिए थे before the analysis, we were telling that जो लोग gate के लिए prepared है अच्छे से, at least for them maths and aptitude can be a real good point.
Exactly.
Okay. Sir, coming to project management, material science, your expertise.
Yes. So guys, project management this year 5 questions are there, and all of them were theoretical. There is no numerical on PERT, CPM and all. Then you have material science, 7 questions are there. There are many questions like in which 2 questions are requiring some calculations, out of which 1 is not having the correct data as well. So that kind of mistakes happen, that every year 1 to 2 questions have. After that, if we talk about design, drawing, safety, it was relatively easier. Okay, when we talk about energy and environment, it was you can say moderate type of paper, and for ICT also it is going to be moderate, and SQP was relatively easy because from 6 Sigma techniques there was 4 questions. So if you have just remember the 6 Sigma 1 class, 4 questions mean 8 marks.
I saw the paper, first 3 questions. I don't know exact how many questions.
4 questions.
The first 3 questions I saw, it was all 6 Sigma.
Yes.
And first one directly factual, the percentage for 6 Sigma.
And so that even means in technical subject also students.
Yeah. And 6 Sigma, slightly they study in the probability normal distribution as well. So they can relate that easily. So on an average, if I say, and sir, I believe for most of the engineering aspirants, maths and aptitude is the first thing they start preparing out of these, and current affairs is then the next target, because unko lagta hai non-tech matlab current affairs. Actually ESE non-tech means several other things, but mostly people think that non-tech matlab current affairs wale kar lete. So even if these 3 parts are good, so you have 45 questions, multiply by 2, 90 marks weightage is only from this much part, right? That is why looking into these many factors, we have given the good score can be 120 plus, although this is not the minimum. right? This is the pie chart for the same, already we have discussed, and this is a slight comparison if you compare it from the last 3-4 years. Okay, so significantly that is what we have told. Aptitude 11 to 15 questions directly, mathematics and current affairs almost the same, right? Project management goes down to 5 questions, right? Similarly, we told you standard and quality practices, which was 13 and uske pehle bhi 10 tha, it has been only 6 questions. ICT is decent, 10 questions, but ICT एक ऐसा है जो fixed pattern पे almost हर बार चल रहा है. Ethics and value also last year 6 and 8 last to last year. Now it is 10, so it is also better. Yes. But guys, it is plus minus 2-3 marks every time will keep happening. In fact, take a buffer of +5 when it is, you know, UPSC. तो plus minus 5 कुछ भी हो सकता है.
ESE variations are loads, sir. Variations are loads.
और आज की डेट में तो गेट में भी कई variations हो गए. मतलब they are trying to surprise the students to any level, right? So guys, this is what is the analysis from the previous year, and now one by one, step by step, let us discuss the answer key, right? So first I shall discuss aptitude answer key, and Dheeraj sir, I think you are coming up next with
for material science and project management.
Material science and project management. Cool guys, right? So let's one by one discuss wherever required.
Sir, I feel now.
Sure, sir. Right. So wherever required, guys, you know, some solutions, some discussions, we'll do that. The questions which are very simple, we can just have a brief discussion and coming to the answer key very quickly. So what is the correct alternative for the question mark? Okay, for the question mark. So what is exactly the term happening here, na? 2, 3, 8, 16. I'll directly give you the hint what is the way of solving it. So what is actually happening, any nth term, it is just the square of the previous term and subtract 1. Like 2 square minus 1 is 3, 3 square minus 1 it is 8, 8 square minus 1 is 63. Then I should say my answer should be 63 square minus 1, which will come up to be 3968. Correct answer is D. Chalte hain next question ki taraf. A very, you know, you have to just little bit search, but it's not a difficult logic here. Let's go to the next question. Now, as we told, reasoning, some questions are lengthy. Now, this question was, you know, half page was only filled by this question. Similarly, a next question, half page was filled by it. Okay. Acha. One more thing, the numbering as you're able to see here, that is 61. This is according to the set B, right? That is why the entire question is typed. So if your set is any other set other than B, you can just rectify, right? So big statement is given. There are 5 boys. Some of them are good. Some of them is poor. Some of them are average in studies. Some of them are post-grad. Some of them are undergraduates, right? Some of them are this. Some of them are that. Some of them are poor. Some of them belong to poor family. Several combinations are given. Okay. But I'll tell you, once I read the question, where is the actual solution starting? The actual solution, guys, started from here. P. There's some solid thing mentioned here, because in the first half now what is mentioned, one is that, so you'll never be able to map. But if you start from this point, that E is industrious. Industrious in a sense means hardworking, right? जो बहुत मेहनत करता हो, right? Good in studies and comes from a poor family and is not interested in something. ठीक है? यहां तक देखते. अब question is, name the boy who is not industrious and is average in studies. So please pay attention that E is industrious. So who all are industrious? E is industrious, right? Then if I talk about C is poor in studies in spite of being industrious. So C is also industrious. E is industrious. A comes from a rich family but is not industrious. Okay. So A is not industrious. Okay. अगला statement क्या बोला है? B is industrious. Okay. B is industrious and comes from a middle class family. That's it. Right. So who is the one who is not industrious? It is either A or D. Okay. Not industrious. अगर मैं A की बात करूं, it is A or D. ठीक है, possibility क्या है? But it should be also average in study. Right. A comes from a rich family and is not industrious but good in studies. Right. So A is good in studies. हमें चाहिए he is average in studies. Right. So D becomes my answer. So D becomes my correct answer. Right. Acha, there is one more contradiction in the question. Now, where is that? Of the 2 boys interested in acting, one is postgraduate. Right. No, not this one. कहीं तो था. ठीक है, yeah. Both of the boys, इसको ध्यान देंगे, इसको हटा देते. Right. Both of the boys interested in acting are not industrious, good in studies, comes from middle class and are average in studies. And exactly this is the question paper. There is no typo error here. Right. So when I talk about this particular statement, ना, ये जो statement है, ये थोड़ा सा conflicting है. So there is some typo error, I think, done by the UPSC, because again, if you read, they are good in studies, come from middle class and they are average in studies. Okay, so there is some sort of contradiction that is there in this particular statement, but independent of that, I am able to figure out my answer. Okay, D can be the best possible answer that you can choose from here. Okay, chalo, moving ahead to the next question. 78. Okay, at an electric data processing unit, 5 out of the 8 program sets P, Q, R, S, T, U, V and W are to be operated daily, right? 5 out of 8 are to be operated daily on any one day except for the first day of the month, right? Only 3 program sets must be the ones that were operated on the previous day, right? Out of the 5, only 3 can be the ones which were already operated on the previous day also. The program must also satisfy the condition. If program is P is operated, V cannot be operated, right? So P cannot go with P. Okay. If Q is to be operated on a day, T must be operated after Q. T must be one of the programs operated after Q, right? Okay. So Q uske baad T आना जरूरी है, ठीक है? If R is to be operated on a day, V must be one of the programs operated after R, right? I don't say immediately after R, but yeah, it has to be there. The last program is S or U. The last program is S or U. Okay. The last program is S or U. Okay. No, guys, this question is incomplete. Chalo, I have the question paper. This question is incomplete. यहाँ पे लिख देते हैं. Just a second, guys. This is number 78, na? I have the exact question paper. Don't worry. Now the question is, if the program sets R and W are operated on first day, which of the following could be other programs on that day? Okay, so यहाँ पे I will write down the question. First day, which of the programs are given? R and W. Right. Other program, and there are 4 options given to you. Very easily we can solve this question again, but this length of this question was half side of a page. Okay, the options are QVS. Option number B has sir QTV. Option number C है TSU. And option number D is TSV. TSV. Okay. So guys, now if you pay attention, first day R and W is there. Okay, R and W is there. So S has to be there. देखो R आ गया, W आ गया, right? Then S and U has to be there. Okay, because the last program of any day is either S or U, so S or U is compulsory there. Now, there is something mentioned. If R is operated on a day, V must be one of the program. So V is confirmed. Okay, so out of the remaining 3 programs, one has to be V. Okay, here there is no V. Options तो यहाँ पे लिखे हुए थे, sorry. Okay, here there is no V. This is wrong. Right, here there is no V. Right, let me check options में कोई typo error तो नहीं है. Correct. So this is definitely wrong. Okay, if I talk about the B, there is no S or U. So this is wrong. Right, now QSV या TSV, देखो इन दोनों में S आ गया, इन दोनों में V आ गया, either Q or T. Either Q or T. So guys, simple logic is, if Q is there, then T also has to be there. So if you select A, right, okay, then also T will be there. So that is why this is wrong option, right? Because we don't have the space for 4th, na? We have to only fix 5. So correct answer is D. Right, correct answer is D. I hope you have got the logic, or you can just re-listen to it. Going to the question number 79, read the following information carefully and answer the question given below. So again, a big lengthy question. After that, some questions will be simple also, but these are all lengthy questions in the beginning. Right, there are 8 doctors P, Q, R, S, T, U, V, W. They visit a charitable dispensary every day except on a holiday, that is the Monday. Each doctor visits for 1 hour from Tuesday to Sunday except Saturday. Right, timings are 9 to 1 p.m., 2 p.m. to 6 p.m. So of course 1 to 2 p.m. is lunch break. On Saturday it is only operated in the morning 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. So each doctor only half an hour, because there are a total of 8 doctors. Okay, no other doctor visits the dispensary before Q and after U. Right, so iska matlab hua Q is the first and U is the last. Right, no other doctor visits the dispensary before Q. So Q is the first and after U nobody visits. Right, so Q is the last bole to 8th. Dr. W comes immediately after the lunch break and is followed by R. S comes in the same order as P in the afternoon. Ab question mein kya pucha? Sometimes the question is very brief. The entire data is not required. If the lunch break and subsequent visiting hours are reduced by 15 minutes. Okay, at what time the Dr. U, which is the last, is expected to attend the dispensary? Right, so lunch PM and what is removed? Dekho, so 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. slot, that is fixed. Here you have 4 slots, but lunch break and subsequent slots. So what will happen to the lunch? it will be 1 to 1:45, of course PM. Okay, that goes to your lunch break. Okay, then next you have 1:45. It's a very simple logic, है ना? 1:45 to 2:30, you have the fifth slot. Okay, because 4 slots are already gone and there is no change in the first. 2:30 से 3:15, sixth आ जाएगा, right? 3:15 to 4, you will get the seventh, right? And exactly then 4 to 4:45, you will have the 8th slot, that is the last, and so you will come at 4 p.m. dear. You will come at what? The 4 p.m. and the correct answer is option number B. You will come at the 4 p.m. Correct answer is option number B. चलेंगे अगले क्वेश्चन की तरफ. Okay. Study the following. See again, lengthy data question है. पूरा reasoning इससे भरा हुआ था. Study the following information carefully and answer the questions below it. P, Q, R, S, T and you are 6 members in a family. Okay, and in which there are 2 married couples. Okay, sir. T is a teacher and is married to the doctor. Who is the mother of R and U? Doctor is mother, matlab doctor is female. So I'll get this started. Who is the doctor? Abhi ye nahi pata, but doctor is a female. I don't know the name, but I know the profession, that doctor, and she is the mother. Mother of who? Mother of R and U. So definitely R and U are siblings. R and U are siblings. Q the lawyer is married to the P and T the teacher is married. अच्छा, तो इसके साथ marriage किसका है? T the teacher. T the teacher, and because it is married to a lady, so T must be a male, of course. Okay, and Q is lawyer is married to the P, and there are only 2 married couples. P has 1 son and 1 grandson. तो इसका ये मतलब हुआ P should be placed above T. So P's son is equal to T, right? And T and daughter are married, so that is why they have 2 children, R and U, out of which R and U, any one of them will be son, right? Okay, so P has a son and a grandson. Yes, satisfy ho gaya. Of the 2 married ladies, one is a housewife. Okay, so of course this is not a housewife, this is a doctor. So P is married to whom? P is then married to S. Only S is left now, I think. Dekho na, P. Yes, correct. Yeah. So P, Q the lawyer is married to the P. Sorry. So Q the lawyer. Here it is Q. The lawyer is married to the P. Q the lawyer is married to the P. So P is the housewife then. So P is the female, no problem. And it is married to the Q, which is the male. Now who is left? P, Q, R. So S becomes the doctor. Okay, now I can't say what is the gender of R and U, but there is some more data. There is 1 student and there is 1 male engineer, right? There is 1 student, one male engineer. So who is 1 male engineer? It is either R or U. Right, and who is that 1 student? That is also either R or U, right? How is R related to U? So definitely they are siblings, but I'm not able to comment on the gender. They are the siblings. So it is brother only or sister only, or it may be brother or sister. Correct answer is brother or sister. There is 1 male engineer, but whether it is R or U, the other one will be student, but there is no information about the genders of R and U. The correct answer mark karenge. R related to U is either brother, sister. Both possibilities are there as per the given information. Let us go to the next question, 91. Read the following information carefully and answer the questions that follow. Madhu and Shobha are good in dramatics and etc. Anjali and Madhu are good in computer science. So there are 5 statements given. Take a question hai. Ye raha question. Who is good in history, physics, computer science and mathematics? Guys, this is direct mapping question. I'll tell you the answer. It is D. Right? Because when you talk about Anjali, na, you will find Anjali is good in computer science and physics. Okay. So these 2 are satisfied. Then same Anjali is good in physics ho gaya, to mathematics bhi aa gaya yahan pe. So mathematics also done. What else is left? History. So here are Anjali is found here in history also. So it's a direct mapping question. D is the correct answer. Let us move ahead to the next question, 92 here. Okay, a syllogism question commonly expected in GATE and ESE both. So ये बिल्कुल regular question है, right? All lions are tigers. So let's say these are the lions. Okay, so this is the subset concept na. All lions are tigers. The lions are inside tigers. All tigers are leopards. Okay, so tigers are inside leopards as per our Venn diagram method. Okay, right. Some leopards are wolves. Some of them, not all, but some of the leopards. ये वाला portion ले लिया. Some of the leopards are what? They are wolves. Okay. Now, which of the conclusions is correct? No elephant is a lion. Now, none of the statement is talking about elephant. Elephant, right? So no elephant is lion. देखो यहाँ पे syllogism का important फंडा क्या होता है कि आपको अपना दिमाग नहीं लगाना. You may think हाँ elephant is not lion. No. You don't have to apply your conclusion. Can you conclude from the given data? Not at all. The data is not talking about elephant, so we can't talk about this. Right? It's a question mark. Some wolves are lion. देखो, some wolves are leopards, and those leopards may be lions or may not be lions. Right? So this is a maybe. हो सकता है, but conclusion means जो 100% true हो. Right? Then some leopards are lions. some leopards. देखो, there are so many leopards. Out of them, some of them are lions. This is absolutely correct. Okay, all A are B reverse होता है ना, some B are A. So this is absolutely true. So only statement number 3 follows. Only the statement number 3 will follow. Clear, everybody? Next question. Okay, so answer is C. Moving ahead to the next question. This is again very simple. Direction sense है very simple actually. Rohit went 15 kilometer to the west. तो चलो बनाते चलते हैं quickly. This is west ना. Rohit went 15 kilometer west. Okay, then he turned left. तो देखो west जाके left का मतलब क्या होगा? नीचे की तरफ. Okay, then he turned left and कितना चला? Walked 20. Okay, sir. Everything is in kilometer. He turned east. Okay, तो east and walked 25. ये चला 25 and then finally turned left. So if you are moving in this direction, left hand कहाँ आएगा? It will take to the top, not direction. Finally covered 20. Okay, so these 20 and this 20 is equal. That is why you will come to the same horizontal level, right? That is why I'm telling you, no Pythagorean or no coordinate geometry required here. Usually we apply coordinate geometry or some basic trigonometry to solve this question. But why this is very simple? Why this is the very simple? Because you only want this much of the distance. How far is he from the house? Okay, how far is from the house? This was the house and this is the final location. So ये कितना हुआ dear? Because it is on the same level. So 25 minus 15, 10 kilometer is the answer. बोल दीजिए भी. That is why it is very simple. In fact, many good questions are there in direction sense earlier in ESE, but this one is simple. This one is simple. Next question, guys. Okay, cryptic language. This is a good question. Okay, it's popular since ages, mostly in the field of espionage and sending classified messages. And if I love you is coded as 7, then how would you code go to hell? Okay, how would you code the go to hell? Okay, so now that I'll tell you the logic, pura calculations aap kar lena. When you talk, the logic is when you talk about I love you, and normally I've taught you also when this is a coding and decoding chapter question, and whenever there is a coding decoding related to the alphabet, the first thing that should strike in your mind is the positioning of the alphabet. That helps you in solving the question. So say for example, I is the 9, L hota hai 12, O is the 15, and etc etc etc. You can figure it out, and when you add all of them, it becomes 124. Good question है, मतलब ये लॉजिक सोचने में थोड़ा टाइम लगेगा. It turns out to be 124, and then guys add 1 and 2 and 4. It becomes the 7, and that is the given code. That is the given code. Some abrupt language is there. Okay. Similarly, when you talk about go to hell, okay, when you are going to talk about the go to hell, right, you are going to add, just G is how much? G becomes the 7, right? O becomes the 15, etc, etc, etc. Do it up. I don't remember the calculations. Okay, there will be a final number coming up, and when you again add up the digits, answer aa jayega. It should be the 4. Answer will turn out to be the 4. Clear? This is the logic of solving the question. Okay, if this logic is clear, ye bhi aa jayega. Okay, as per the go to hell, answer will come up to be the 4, right? Going to the next, 95. What letter should replace the question mark? So this is again simple. Okay, why it is simple, I'll tell you. Again, letter hai na. Series based question on letter. So positioning, right? Like L, agar hum iski baat kare, to L is 12, right? L is 12, J is 10, and N is known as how much? N is known as the 14. Okay, so there is a difference of how much? There is a difference of 2, 2, 2. Right. Similarly, if you talk about this one, so A is 1, E is 5, and A is 9. There is a difference of 4. So here there is a difference of 2, here there is a difference of 4. So there is a common difference in every pattern. Right. G ki baat karenge to G is known as 7, M is known as 13, and S is known as 19. So here also there is a difference, 6 ka difference hai. Right. So similarly, guys, if you talk about this picture, H is known as the 8, P is known as 16. So what should be the question mark? So एक बार अगर difference 8 है तो यहाँ पे भी difference 8 होगा. So this has to be the 24. This has to be how much? 24. And 24 बोले तो कितना होना चाहिए? Okay, X, Y, Z. It has to be X. Right. It has to be X. The correct answer is B. Correct answer is B. ठीक है, guys? Okay. So difference of 8, 8, 8. Okay, difference of 8, 8, 8. Well, here it is 2, 4, 6 and 8. That is also increasing. The difference is also actually increasing. Next question, number 96. Okay, on the similar ground, picture based. The previous one was letter based. This is a number based. Okay, I'll tell you the direct answer and logic. So, dekho, 27 is the 3 cube and 125 is the 5 cube. Right? Add 3 and 5, you get 8. Okay. Okay, थोड़ा सा सोचने में टाइम लगेगा, that not that difficult. Okay, maybe within 30 seconds you can rectify. Okay, again 64 is 4 cube and 216 is 6 cube and 4 plus 6 is known as the 10. So answer आ गया कि नहीं? 343 is the cube of 7, 216 is the cube of 6. So 7 and 6 are the number involved. So my answer should be addition of 7 and 6. That is equal to the 13. Answer is B. 13, and that is the answer equal to B. Next question, guys. Number 97 here. Deepthi is playing a treasure hunt game. At the first stage, Deepthi needs to choose a 5-digit code to unlock the vault which contains the treasure. There's a 5-digit code. She needs, okay, and she gets the following codes to choose from. So there is a set of codes given. The following clues are given to help her find the code. अब देखो, there are 4 clues given. Okay, last में क्या बोला? If Deepthi had the option to selecting only ये 1 clue होना चाहिए. Only 1 clue. Which of the 4 clues will give her the best chance of finding the 5-digit code? तो देखो, the code number is not an even number. This is the first clue, right? But not an even number मतलब it is an odd number. So odd. Okay, there are 3 odd numbers given. Okay, there are 3 odd numbers given. So 3 में से फिर कैसे ढूंढेंगे? The product of first 2 digits. The product of the first 2 digits number is equal to, I think, even या odd given था. Okay, again there is a typo error here. I will check it out. What is the exact question? Question paper है पूरा. Okay, the product of the first 2 digits is equal to odd. That is the data given. Okay, the product of first 2 digits is odd. So 1 into 5 is odd. 3 into 5, that will be odd. 7 into 1 is odd. 1 into 5, 1 into 3. So several possibilities are still there. So this cannot be the best clue. The sum of the first 4 digits is 12. Sum of the first 4 digits is 12. तो अगर इसको ऐड किया तो आया 13, right? So this is wrong. As per R. Okay, so 8, this is also wrong. 3, 5, 4 and 1, this also goes beyond 12. 13 हो गया ये. 2, 3, 1 and 0. No, only sum of first 4 digits. 6 plus 5, no, 11. Okay, then this is also wrong. This is 8. Okay, this looks like 12. 3 plus 5 plus 4. This is also 10. ये wrong हो गया. 2 plus 8 plus 3. Wrong हो गया. So we have figured out. So as per the clue R, that is the best thing. Okay, that is the best thing. Okay, the code number is not a multiple of 5. So who are not the multiple of 5 means 5 and 0 there should be end, right? So this is not multiple of 5, this is not multiple of 5, this is not multiple of 5. There are several possibilities. So only R is that clue which will give you that definite 5 code answer. Okay, the correct answer is R, option number B. The correct answer is the R, that is option number B. Moving ahead to the next question there. Suppose you enter an elevator at a certain floor, then the elevator moves up 5 floors, down 3 floors, up 2 floors. If you are then at the 8th floor, on what floor did you enter the elevator? Okay, simple hai guys. Suppose you start at the X, you go 5 floor ups. If I say you go 1 floor up, you start from first floor. And suppose if I tell you go 1 floor up, so you reach 6, na? Simply 5 plus 1. So similarly, X plus 5. Then you go 3 floors down and then again 2 floors up and then you are at the 8th floor. The answer should be equal to 4 and none of the option is matching. So I think this question is not correct. There is one question in which none of the option is matching and there is no great logic behind it. It's very simple actually. Okay, so X equal to 4 should be the answer according to me. Okay, moving ahead to the next question then. Oh, sorry. Number 99. A number series is given with one term missing, guys. This is very simple. Okay, 0.5. Okay, this is comma, है ना? 0.55, 0.65. So simple logic is इसमें add किया plus 0.05. Then I add plus 0.1. Then I add plus 0.15. So next I will add what? 0.05, 0.1, 0.15. So next you have to add 0.2 and answer will become 1. Correct answer is D. Correct answer is D. ठीक है? 99, 100 and the last question here for the general aptitude, engineering aptitude. The soccer club is putting together a mural. Now mural is a sort of design or painting you draw on walls. Okay, so it's a sort of painting. Simple भाषा में समझ लीजिए. Using lightly colored transparent paper. This paper is then transparent paper, colored hai, bahut light colored hai, but transparent paper, right, is very important. Okay, so transparent paper means you can see behind this, but only what will be visible is the edges of the paper. This paper is then cut into squares of different sizes. You have the flexibility to cut squares of different sizes, but only squares hai. Only squares cut kar sakte ho. Okay, so you have a big roll of paper out of which you can cut the squares. Okay, now what is the next? Of course, the club wants to save money, so its members are trying to buy the minimum number of sheets of colored paper. Below one is the designs that they are going to use. One of the design that they want to use is given. What is the minimum number of squares they will need to make this design? minimum number of squares they will need to make this design, right? So guys, what we can do is one big square we can select first of all. Square of different sizes, na? Okay. Then after that I select one square here and one more square here. Okay. One more square I will place here. Clear everybody? Okay. So that is one possibility. That is one possibility. So how many till now? 1, 1, 1. Okay. So 2, 3. Now what I will do, I will slightly fold this. इसको थोड़ा सा ना fold कर देंगे. Okay. Because once you fold this na, once you fold this, what is going to happen? Okay, this portion will not be seen. You have folded this. Okay, right. You have folded this because you don't want to see these edges, na? Okay, so इसलिए इसको fold कर दिया. Only this will be visible. Okay, but still I want this, so I will have to place one more square at this center exactly so that its edges are seen. Okay, so there is one more, but still ये वाला कैसे tilt? ये वाला कैसे लाओगे? You have to think about that only. You have to just think about that. How will you get these two edges? That is the only case that you have to think and let me know the answer. Okay, let me, if you fold this paper again, so this edges will be removed. So I want these edges as well. So I can't fold this, right? If I fold this one, this was already folded. If I top it here, तो ये बीच का edges आ जाएगा. So that is also not possible. Okay, the center square, if you fold it above, so it is going to overlap here. These edges will be removed, right? So how are you going to bring these edges? The only possibility I see here is you'll have to place one more tilted square here. You will have to place one more tilted square here, and the answer is B. You will have to place one more tilted square and then answer becomes the 5. Okay, that is what it is. Think about this. This is what is the answer. And now here next I invite, these are all around exactly 15 questions of engineering aptitude we have discussed. And next it is in the sequence. Dheeraj sir coming up live in front of me with the questions of material science. Yes, sir. Over to you, sir.
Thank you, sir. So guys, now we will see the questions from material science and basics of project management one by one. Okay. So first of all, when we see this question, I would also like to tell you one thing, that if we talk about material science questions, they were very calculative, and even 1 to 2 questions were such that where some data was not given which was required to solve them. So yes, but it was for everyone. Okay. So guys, first of all, this is the only question from material science which was very easy, and I feel everyone have done it because in the marathon sessions also we have done these kind of things. So when a pair of one cation and one anion are absent from an ionic crystal, you know, whenever some atoms is going to leave their position, we call it as vacancy, but the same defect in ions is said to be the Schottky defect. So we will be saying the answer to be Schottky defect for this. Moving to the next question, guys. Moving to the next question. Yes. Okay, so guys, if you see, this question is related to diffusion. So if you talk about the diffusion question, it should not be the part of material science as far as the syllabus is concerned, but still the question have been asked. So when we are talking about this, guys, so there is something called as x square upon d into t ka product is going to be constant. Now, my dear, here x is actually said to be the depth, okay. So here they are saying the depth of diffusion. They are saying the diffusion coefficient for copper in aluminium at 500 degrees Celsius and 600 degrees Celsius are this and this. And what is the approximate time at 500 degrees Celsius that will produce the same diffusion result? They are saying the same diffusion result means they are saying the same x. If x is same, obviously the product of d and t is also going to be same. So if that is going to be constant, we can say d1 t1 is equals to d2 t2. Here 1 is the condition at 500 degrees Celsius and 2 is the condition at 600 degrees Celsius, like that we are taking. And we need to find out heat treatment at 600 degrees Celsius result. So we need to find out the T2 in hours. So you can write it as d1 t1 by d2. So when you will be putting this value, my dear, then what you will be getting, you can see the values are given. This is 4.8 into 10 power minus 14. This is 5.3 into 10 power minus 3. Now here is the problem with the data. If you will be putting these data, none of the option is going to match. Okay. And even if I see the values, if I see the standard things, because this question is directly taken from a book of material science, that is William Callister. So if you see that book, in that question, they have mentioned this as 10 to the power minus 13. So if you will be taking that data, with that you will be getting the answer to be 110.4 hours. Okay. So otherwise no answer will be matching for this question. So the answer for this question is going to be A. Obviously there is an error in the data for this question. So guys, बढ़ते हैं आगे next question की तरफ. Okay. So next question guys is question number 26. And here they are saying that a relatively large plate of a glass is subjected to a tensile stress of 40 MPa. So they have mentioned sigma to be 40 MPa. And guys, next they are saying if the specific surface energy and modulus of elasticity, surface energy is 0.3 joule per meter square. And they are saying that is the modulus of elasticity E is 69 GPa. You know that it is 69 into 10 power 3 MPa I can say. And 1 MPa is Newton per mm square or 10 power 6 Newton meter square. So guys, when we are going to talk about the fracture, they are saying that possible without fracture. So when we are talking about the brittle fracture, for brittle fracture, when we are going to see the formula, for that you need to use that formula of surface energy that is given by sigma C is equals to 2 times of E gamma S upon A. And guys, it will be coming out to be after solving. It is coming out to be after solving. This is 1 by 2. When you will solve this, my dear, you need to find out the A, because what they are asking you the length of a surface flow. So they are asking you the value of A. So you need to square it on both the sides and you will be getting the value of A after solving as 8.2, because I have already solved it for you. It is coming out to be 8.2 microns. So this is going to be the answer for this question. Moving further, my dear, to question number 27. So when we see the next question, a piece of copper. Now here one data is not given. If you remember the Young's modulus of elasticity of copper, then only you can solve this question. This is from a piece of copper, originally 305 mm. So you are given the length as 305 mm. So material science was very lengthy. You may ask me, sir, how we will solve these questions without calci? I can understand, but the question was same for everyone, and that happens in engineering services. So it is long and pulled in the tension with a stress of 276 MPa. So they have given you sigma as 276 MPa. If the deformation is entirely elastic, what is the resultant elongation? You know that if it is going to be elastic, the delta formula is given as PL upon AE. And if you want to find out in the form of stress, you can write it as sigma L upon E, because everything is up to the elastic limit. But for that, E should be given, which is not given to us in this question. So guys, if we take the value of E standard for copper, it is 110 GPa. So you can write it as 110 into 10 to the power 3 MPa. When you will be taking this value, my dear, you will be getting the answer. And after solving, you will be getting the answer to be that delta will be, because this is delta you are finding out, it is coming out to be 0.765. So answer will be C for this. 0.77 we will be ticking for this. Yes, 0.765 is the correct answer. Moving further, guys, to the next question. Next question is question number 28. This is once again a question where data was missing, because they have not given a curve for which they have mentioned take the tensile strength from the curve for copper as 340 MPa. So here they have missed a curve on which y-axis will be having the percentage EL, that is to tell you about the ductility, and on the x-axis you will be having what? They are saying of a cylindrical copper rod, that is going to be what? Yes, in the curve they are giving percentage of cold working. Yes, percentage of cold working. So this curve was missing in this question. Without this curve we cannot solve it. So it will be coming like this, and when you will be using this curve, as this is also from a standard book. So for this, if you know the percentage of cold work, you can find out the ductility. So you just need to find out the percentage of cold work. And what is the percentage of cold work? For that, percentage of cold work can be written as A0 minus AF but A0 into 100. You know, area is given as pi by 4d square. When you will be putting this value, my dear, then the percentage of cold work is coming out to be 35.58%. And for this value, when you will check, the ductility percentage yield will be coming out to be 7%. Okay, so yes, without this curve you cannot solve it. So guys, if question was there, I'm telling you the solution, because there are some questions directly taken from the standard book, but data was absent in that. Okay, so moving further guys, this was the material science question. Now we are moving to this question. This is an easy question relatively, I will say, but here the problem was calculation again. This question is from the volume density formula. So if you remember, we have done that formula in the marathon sessions also. So how we write this? Here volumetric density is given as the average number of atoms into what? Into what? It is atomic weight divided by it is Avogadro number, and into what? Into it is the volume of unit cell. Okay, so volume of unit cell. Here my dear, they have given you the volumetric density as it was given, and the unit was 7.87 10 to the power 3 kg per meter cube. They have given you the atomic weight 55.8 grams. And my dear, the point is they have given the Avogadro number also. If you will be using the Avogadro number, which you remember, that is into 10 power 23, then also you will not get the right answer. So they have given per kg mole. So you need to take that number only. So when you will be putting that value, volumetric density is 7.87 into 10 to the power 3. That is equals to, you will be having average number of atoms 2, which is also mentioned. Then you will be having this value to be atomic weight is 55.8. As it is in gram, you will say -3. And then divided by Avogadro number is 6.02 into 10 to the power 26. And into, when you will be doing the volume of unit cell to be A cube, you will be getting the value of A to be 2.866 angstrom. Yes, the same value we are getting. Okay, so this is one more question from the material science. Moving further guys, yes, one more question from the material science. That is, which one of the following scientist called entropy time arrow? So he was Arthur Eddington. So we are moving further with this. I feel we have completed the material science. Now we will see the question from project management. Okay, so let us see the question from project management. Okay guys, so this was the question from project management. For project management, questions were theoretical. There were no numerical on PERT, CPM on anything. Weightage have been reduced from the last year. All questions were purely theoretical. So guys, so according to CCTM, using 50 by 50, I estimate will discourage Parkinson's law, the student syndrome, and self-protection from coming into play because there is less free time available. What does the abbreviation CCPM? So CCPM stands for Critical Chain Project Management. Okay, this stands for Critical Chain Project Management. Moving to the next question, guys. Moving to the next question. Next question is, guys, very interesting one. That is, this was the very easy question. Okay, we have done at the time of marathon also. According to project cost duration graph, any reduction in project duration means, I would like to say, if I will be showing cost here and duration here and duration here. So I would like to say, my dear, this is the curve for the direct cost. This is the curve for the indirect cost. He is asking if I will be reducing the project duration. So when you will reduce the project duration, direct cost will increase, indirect cost will decrease. So he is asking which cost is going to reduce. That according to project cost time duration graph, any reduction in project duration means a reduction in what? Reduction in indirect cost, because direct cost is going to increase in that case. Okay guys, so moving further to the question number 38. Okay, so if you see 38, consider the following statement for hammock activity. Okay, that was also a new term for majority of the student. So that kind of thing also is not used much in any of the chapter if you see. So for hammock activity, it derives, but guys, I already told you 3 to 4 questions of this type comes, okay, in the paper. So if you see, it derives, it's the name because it spans over a segment of a project. The hammock activity's duration is determined after the network plan is not drawn. And the hammock activities are frequently used to identify the use of fixed resource and cost over a segment of the project. So if you see this question, my dear, there are 4 statements given. And if you see this statement, this second statement is given to be wrong. Okay, so because of that, if you see, the correct answer for this is going to be B, because first statement is correct and third statement is correct. Second statement was wrong. So because of that, this is wrong, this is wrong. Okay, So the answer you will be getting is B for this. Okay. So moving further, guys, next question is question number 39. Okay. For 39, my dear, if you see this question, he is asking about risk mitigation. Risk mitigation means whenever we want to reduce the effect of risk. Okay. So for this, my dear, the answer is going to be A, that is 1 and 2. Okay. So moving to the next question, guys, I feel this is the last question from project management. Question number 40. So here he is asking that the strategy is to assign extra time at critical moments in the project. Buffers were added to activities with no risk. Okay. Merge activities that are prone to delays due to one or more preceding activity being late. If you see, guys, what he is saying is buffer time is added to which of the activity? Obviously, buffer time is added to the critical activities majorly, and for non-critical activity where merge events are coming out to be, so that none of the things can distract the overall project duration. So guys, I feel the answer should be 2, 3 and 4 for this. And with this, project management questions are over. Now I will invite Suraj Gopi sir to take. Sir.
Sir, drawing, safety and design.
Yes.
So,
sir, please take this.
Exactly.
mic.
So thank you, sir, for
the screen is yours.
Exactly. So actually, if I talk about the level of from the design, drawing, and safety, the question level was very easy. If you have attended the marathon sessions, I think out of 8 questions, you can easily solve 5 questions. That is my surety, right? Because I already told you they will be asking very easy question and overview question. So let's proceed directly towards the question of the drawing. So let us go with the question number 5th, right? It is from the scales topic. The question is very easy. Let us read out what the question is telling us about. In a plane scale, if 1.5 inch and 1 foot is equal to 1 foot and it is measured up to 4 feet, what is the representative factor of the scale? So by using very simple formulation, what is representative factor? Representative factor is nothing but it is equal to the length of the drawing, divided by the actual length. Right? So over here, if you try to visualize, the length of the drawing is nothing but your 1.5 inches divided by the actual length is 1 foot, right? Now, whenever we are solving these kind of questions from the your scales topic, we always need to convert the units, right? So 1 foot is equivalent to 12 inches. So 1.5 inch divided by 12 inch. So after solving this, you'll be getting directly this value to be 1/8. I think our option A is the correct answer. Okay, so it's a very easy question from the scales topic. So let us go with the second problem from the drawing. Yeah, question number 6. Which one of the following is used when the components of the same shape but different dimensions are to be manufactured? It's a direct definition based question, and the answer for this is tabular drawing, because the tabular drawing is the drawing in which the components, the shape will be same, but the dimensions will be different while manufacturing. Next question. It is like every time, if you have seen the marathon also, I already told you, normally they're asking from your drawing majority of the time they're asking from the different types of line. They're having from A to K different types of lines, right? So if I talk about this question, which of the following lines is used to represent the outlines of adjacent part or alternative and extreme position of movable parts? So if you try to understand movable parts, the direct answer, it's basically very easy question you are getting whenever we are talking about how to represent the extreme edges of a movable part. Let us suppose we are having a part, it is being reciprocating from this end to this end. So if I want to show the extreme edge of this particular part, so we have to use option C, that is chain thin double dashed line. Because if you talk about continuous thick line, this is basically used for drawing the outlines. Okay, for the outline of the body. If I talk about the continuous thin line, it is basically being used to draw the dimension lines or imaginary lines. Dimension lines or imaginary lines. And if I talk about the dashed thin lines, this is we are using to draw the center lines or symmetrical lines. Center lines or symmetrical lines, right? So in the question, they have directly talked about the extreme edges of the movable part. So that is your option C, chain thin double dash line. Moving to the next question. It's a very easy one. Yeah. If a line is inclined to HP and parallel to VP. Now, same statement I have discussed when we were discussing the projection of lines. Now, it's a very easy question. They are saying that, let us suppose this is the vertical plane. This is your vertical plane and this is the horizontal plane. Okay. Now, they're saying that the line is inclined to HP and parallel to VP. So, let us suppose I'm having a line which is inclined to HP and parallel to VP. So, if you try to extend this line, it will be intersecting at a horizontal plane. Because what do you mean by trace? Trace is nothing but when you try to extend the line and it is intersecting at one of the principal planes. We're having three principal planes. We're having vertical plane, horizontal plane, and profile plane. So if it is intersecting on the horizontal plane, then it will be called as horizontal trace. If it is intersecting on the vertical plane, will be called as a vertical trace. Now over here, if you try to visualize, this line is parallel to VP. So if a line is parallel to VP, it will never ever intersect on vertical plane. So it won't be having any trace. There is no vertical trace. So it has no trace. It is incorrect. This is also incorrect. It is also incorrect, and definitely it will be intersecting on the horizontal plane. This will be called as horizontal trace. So it is having only horizontal trace but no vertical trace, right? Option D is the correct answer. So let's go for the next problem on the screen. Is a triangular prism. Now this is again a question from the projection of solids. It's a very easy question. If I try to draw the diagram, let's say this is your vertical plane, this is the horizontal plane. Now they are saying this is a triangular prism whose base is 40, axis is 50 long, and it is resting on one of its base. That means its base is resting on the horizontal plane, right? So this is the horizontal plane. Okay, something like this. Yeah. Okay, fine. So now they're saying that the base is resting on HP and vertical face is perpendicular to VP. So vertical face means if I try to draw A, B, C, D, E and F. So if you see the front view from here, right? So front view will be this A and B because this side is perpendicular over VP. So you'll be seeing the same point. So if I try to draw the front view, it will be simply A dash and B dash. This 2 point will be simply visible at a single point, right? This is your A dash, this is your B dash, and C dash and E dash will be visible, and will be having D dash and your F dash. So if I try to draw the front view, we'll be having a front view something like this. So this is basically we're getting a single rectangle. Option B is the correct answer. It's a very easy question from the projection of solids. So we got 2 questions from projection. I told you this year projection might be we can say important topic, and they have asked directly 2 questions from that. Moving to the next question on the screen. Okay. Again from the isometric view problem, consider the following points while drawing the isometric view of any solids. The isometric view should be drawn according to the given views in such a way that the maximum possible details are visible. Bilkul sahi. At every point for the corner of the solid, at least 3 lines for the edges must converge. For of these, at least 2 must be the visible edge. Absolutely correct. And for 2 lines, visible edges will never cross each other. So definitely these are correct. So option D is the correct answer because all the 3 statement is definitely correct. Now moving to the next question. This is the second last question of our design drawing. Now for answering to this problem, I told you safety is a topic which you can answer without even studying also. Now they're saying that there is a list of severity of the failure and there's an impact of failure. So if you know the meaning of catastrophic, critical, marginal or negligible, you can answer it very easily. Now let us read out less than minor injury or system or damage. That means there's a minor injury and the injury is basically less than that of the minor injury. So it will be the negligible. So S is 1. So S is approximately we are getting, S is less than minor injury or system damage. Minor injury or minor system damage result in the death or the total system loss, result in the severe injury and major system loss. So if I try to talk about catastrophic. Now catastrophic is basically will be having huge losses to the environment. Major will be having like if you are having an earthquake, right? So it will be called as a catastrophic if the death rates are very, very high. So by using this particular concept, can we say catastrophic simply means it results in the severe injury or major system damage. So P4. So P4, only one option is there, option B. No need to see any other option. Okay, but let us cross verify. If I talk about critical, Critical is basically result in the death or total system loss, because that is your critical system. Marginal means you are having a less than minor injury or system damage, right? So that is RS1, and the last one is negligible, that we are having minor injury or the minor system damage. That's it. So this is a very easy question from the safety. Now moving to the last question of our topic, and almost every question was very, very easy. Okay, so which of the following method is used when non-isometric lines or their end lies in isometric planes? Again, direct definition based question, and we know we are having the box method which we are using for the non-isometric lines of their ends in the isometric plane. So these were the total, all the questions from my side from the drawing design and safety, and all the questions were very easy. Now I'll invite Ashutosh sir, and he'll be discussing about very, very important topics, and he'll be helping you out to get the correct answer. So over to Ashutosh sir.
Thank you so much, Suraj sir. And guys, I hope you must be enjoying the discussion, because the moment you have appeared in your examination, we are giving you the most authentic solution for General Studies Paper 1 for Engineering Services Examination. I will be discussing basically two important topics, that is engineering ethics or ethics and values in engineering profession, and current affairs. Before I start the discussion, I will give you a basic idea that how was the paper for engineering ethics or ethics or values in engineering profession. Then we will be starting the questions. Okay. Now, to give you a brief idea, there were somewhere around 10 questions from the engineering ethics, and if you compare it from the previous year, that is 2022 examination, paper was on the easier side, but it is not easy. In general, it is a difficult paper, I can say, but comparing it from the previous year, because previous year was quite difficult paper. This year, they have touched upon thinkers also. There were 2 questions directly related to the thinkers. Rest of the questions are related to the basic part and understanding of ethics and values. And one of the most remarkable feature which I have seen in this paper is, this year paper is, that since when the ethics was introduced, 2017, every year I was telling in my classes to all the students that one day they are going to ask the difference between morals and ethics. And that is how you got this question. The first question, as you see on the screen, is talking about morals or morality and ethics. So if you read the statements, he is asking which one of the following statement is not correct. So if you observe how we are defining the morality, you remember, morality is nothing but a set of moral values. In the most simple way, you can say set of moral values. And if you talk about ethics, so ethics is about societal sanction. Societal sanction. And morality or moral is about individual sanction. Individual sanction. On the basis of this criteria, let us try to find which of the following statements are going to be incorrect. First statement says notions or beliefs about manners. Now please understand, manners are related to the code of conduct. Manners does not fall into the category of morals and ethics, because manners or etiquette means the way you dress up, the way you walk, the way you talk. These comes under manners. Also, taste cannot come under morals or ethics, because somebody may require more sugar in the tea, somebody may require less sugar in the tea. So taste is not going to define whether something is morally or ethically right or wrong. So from the first statement itself, you can say A is the wrong option. If you see the other options, B, C, D, they are quite subjective, and it is very difficult to understand whether these statements are correct or incorrect, even for a good understanding person also. And that is the reason this statement is clearly incorrect. So you have to basically find this statement. If you are getting this statement at the first place, then you will be in a good situation. But suppose this is given in the C or D option, then definitely you will get lot of confusion. Next question. The work ethics. Now this was the question. This was the question which I have discussed in my paid course. Paid classes I have discussed. YouTube also I have discussed. If you want, I will give you the screenshot also later on in some part of the discussion. He is asking the work ethics is aimed at not ensuring which of the following. Now please understand, when you talk about ethics and that is related to work, it means you are talking about professional ethics. You are talking about business ethics. You are talking about corporate ethics. So all these dimensions will definitely overlap when you talk about work ethics. So if you see the options, economy and productivity will be coming under the business ethics, so this is correct. Safety and privacy, this will be coming under professional ethics also and corporate ethics also, so this is also correct. Consumption and distribution, this is also important, it is also coming under business ethics. The only option which does not fit into the category of work ethics is health and hygiene. Now health and hygiene is a you can say something which is very personal, something which is individual. I may be having a different set of standards for health and hygiene, somebody may be having a different set of standards for health and hygiene, but that has nothing to do with the morals or ethics. So definitely D is going to be the correct option. See the next question, which one of the following is not included under the categories of civic virtues? Now this question was very tricky question and it is very difficult to answer this question. Why? Because you know what is a virtue. I told you, virtue is nothing but the most dominant value in your personality. Most dominant value in your personality. But he is talking about civic virtues. Now you have to use your common sense and logic. What options you have to choose, and it is very difficult question. I can tell you, for any average student or even good student, it is not possible to answer this question with 100% assurance. So the correct option is self-reflection. Self-reflection. Now it is very overlapping, but what happened, there is a theory for civic virtues, and civic virtues have been divided into 4 parts. The first part is civic knowledge. Civic knowledge. You will get the answers and the PDF for the keys and solution in the description. There is a link. If you follow, you will get it. So I have given the complete you can say content about it. So these 4 are the bifurcations of civic virtues. So A is going to be the incorrect one. Question number 14. He is talking about spirituality. Spirituality is promoted in the workplace by adhering to the following activities. Now this question was also very interesting because it is very difficult how we generally relate spirituality with the workplace ethics, and you have to see what is the correct option. Now please understand, statement 1 gives you a clear-cut idea. He is saying verbally respect the individual as humans and recognize their values in all decisions and actions. Now this is correct. But there is something which is left in this statement. It should be verbal also, it should be non-verbal also. It's not only that you are only talking about values and ethics on paper. No, it should be in your behavior also, in your day-to-day interaction also. So 1 is going to be 100% wrong. The moment you get 1 wrong, there is no need for further investigation, because from odd man out, you can understand these 2 options are gone. Now you have 2, 3 and 2, 3, 4. So first read the statement number 4. Statement number 4 says realization of the self potential through meditative acts. Now this is 100% correct, because he is talking about spirituality, how spirituality is going to uplift somebody's professional career. So 4 is 100% correct. So what is the correct option? A is going to be the correct option. See the next question. Normative sense of engineering ethics, and something I have dealt in my paid batches also for ethics and YouTube also. Number of times I have told you, direct question, but you have to understand the meaning. Normative, I have told you, normative has a root word which means norm. Norm means ideal, and the key statement is what ought to be. What ought to be. So understand on the basis of this criteria. Knowing moral values, finding accurate solutions to moral problems, and justify moral judgments and engineering practices. This is correct, but you have to identify the incorrect statement. Generating alternate courses of action to resolve the dilemma. Now understand, he is talking about alternate solutions. When something is ideal, there can be no alternate to it. Then only it can be ideal. For example, going from the highway, it is written, do not overtake from the wrong side. Do you see any alternate to this? No. So something which is normative, there cannot be any alternate, because otherwise people are not going to follow it. Yes or no? So norm ideal is the basis criteria from where you can understand B is the incorrect option. I hope you understand. Next question. Which of the following characteristic features distinguishes Carol Gilligan's theory from Kohlberg's theory with regard to the moral development? Now, very recently, the 2 marathons I have taken for ethics, I have explained that you will get a question from Lawrence Kohlberg and Carol Gilligan's theory. You know that Lawrence Kohlberg, he has given justice-based morality for men, whereas Carol Gilligan, she has given care-based morality for women. I hope you remember this from our class. So C is going to be the correct option, more of caring. Next question. Which of the following theorists and philosophers are not associated with the duty ethics? So the first name you understand, Immanuel Kant is one of the pioneer thinker of duty ethics. So this cannot be the answer. If you talk about John Locke along with Hobbes and Rousseau, these 3 have given the social contract theory. Social contract theory I have explained in my class. And John Locke was not associated with the duty ethics, so B is the correct option. But if you talk about John Rawls, he has given the magnum opus, theory of justice. And through this theory of justice, he has explained that the duty and right-based approach towards duty ethics is not correct. Rather, the contractualist approach is going to be correct. So definitely Rawls was associated with the duty ethics. Ross was also related to the duty ethics. So the correct answer is John Locke. Next question. Which one of the following statements is not correct? Now this was again a direct question you have got from the marathon series. Direct question you have got from the Vision course paid batch. He is saying values mean an inbuilt mechanism which distinguishes right from the wrong. This is the very basic definition of values. Values provide us with a unique personal and moral template that we use subconsciously to assess and judge the intentions and the actions of others and ourselves. This is also general definition. Values serve the process of becoming in the sense of transformation of the level of consciousness to purer and higher levels. This is also correct. This is why we use values, because we want to become a better human being. The D option says values are essentially objective. This is 100% incorrect, because values are 100% subjective, or majority of it, or dominantly it is going to be subjective. For you, this pen may be 1000 or 2000 rupees pen. For me, this pen may be priceless, because I am writing the destiny of hundreds and lakhs and thousands of students on the board. So D is the correct option. Values are subjective. They are not same for everyone. Question number 50. Consider the following objectives of the study on professional ethics. Now, professional ethics also, it is from our course itself. Now, he is asking forming consistent views point based on the facts. This is correct. Searching beyond obvious alternative responses. This is also correct. Comprehending and assessing different. This is also correct. So, B is the correct option. All the 3 statements given are perfectly correct. Question number 60, it is an assertion reasoning question. It says, ethics involves the discipline of systematic inquiry into the moral norms of standards of behavior and their underlying values and justification. 100% correct. Applied ethics looks into the ways in which moral values can be applied to the particular areas of concern, such as business. So this is also correct. Both the statements correct, but he is talking about ethics and he is talking about applied ethics. So B is the correct option. Both the statements correct, but 2 is not the correct reasoning for statement 1. One more thing I want to add here about applied ethics. It is not that you can apply the concept of ethics to any subject. There are 2 criteria. The first criteria is that there should be significant people for and against that issue. It means if you are saying engineering has an ethical dimension, then there should be a majority of people who are saying no, engineering is about economy. And there should be certain other significant number of people who are saying no, we are not only concerned with the economy when we talk about engineering. As engineers, we are supposed to provide the most economic solutions to the human problems. So ethics is going to enter into the field of engineering. The second criteria is it must be dominantly an ethical issue. For example, now somebody is wearing red shirt, somebody is wearing white shirt. Now wearing red or white shirt is not going to define your ethics. It is just a matter of taste. It's just a matter of your preference. So that does not fall into the ethics domain. So you cannot say there can be a separate field like you can say fashion ethics. So there cannot be any field like fashion ethics because fashion has nothing to do with ethics. So these are the two criteria. So definitely both the statements are correct, but statement 2 does not have a reasoning for statement 1. Now we are coming to this was the end of current affairs. Now we are end of ethics. Now we are talking about current affairs. The first question I am discussing. And these questions were basically based on various government reports. And if you want me to give you some summation of summary of what has been the nature of current affairs in 2023 engineering services, I can tell you that it was a conventional paper. You have to read the government policies, programs, various reports, IMF, World Bank, World Economic Forum. Questions are coming from these areas only. There were some factual questions also, but you cannot complain about that because that is everybody's problem. Starting with the first question of current affairs, which one of the following is not included in the 12 areas of doing business 2020? Now, I told you in current affairs that sometime you don't need to remember things, you have to use your logic. Now, doing business 2020 is something which is related to business in between two countries. So, business in between two countries is going to be taken by large corporates. So, small scale industries are not going to be generally included in that. So, common sense wise, you can see this is going to be the correct answer. Next question. Consider the following economic activities. He is asking which of the above economic activities fall under the tertiary sector. So, you understand administration and finance, it comes under the tertiary sector, whereas mining and quarrying, it comes under primary sector. Agriculture also comes under primary sector. Horticulture also comes under primary sector. So 1 and 2 is going to be the correct option. So D is the correct option. Next question. IMF raises the projection of the economic growth in 2021 and 2022. This question was little confusing because we don't know whether he is talking about the overall economic growth or the India growth. So if you go by the facts, possibly A is going to be the correct answer. Next question. Consider the following statements. Now for this question, statement 3 is wrong. 1 and 2 are correct. 1 and 2 are correct. I will give you the reasoning for this. Just give me one moment. Yes. The third statement actually, it's Malvika Siddharth Hegde. It's Malvika Siddharth Hegde, who is the new CEO of the Coffee Day Enterprises Limited. So 3 is the incorrect one and 1 and 2 are correct. So what is the correct answer? C. C is the correct answer. Next question. Government of India has moved a resolution in the UN General Assembly to declare the year 2023 as the International Year of Millets. Now let me tell you one thing extremely important. Extremely important. This question belongs to the current affairs for the January 2023 month. It means lakhs of people are asking me, student, sir, up to which date we have to read the current affairs? So definitely, if the examination in February, you can expect questions from January current affairs also. So for the next year 2024, you must cover up to January 2024 current affairs. This was a question which was related to January 2023 current affairs. Now see, he is saying support will be provided for post-harvest value addition, enhancing domestic consumption, and support will be provided for branding millet products nationally and internationally. Now please understand, sometimes you have to use your logic and common sense. For example, millets are generally what? Jowar, bajra, mota anaj, which we call it mota anaj, which is generally having fiber, good for the health, and its productivity is very high in the water deficit areas. That is why people are talking about millets, and India can be a leader in this category. Now, if you want to promote millets, what are the possible options you can do? Suppose if you are the president of that group, what decisions you will take? The first thing, you will provide support for the post-harvest value addition. That is how it can be commercialized, and enhancing domestic consumption, because it has nutrition base also. So domestic consumption also you have to increase. It's a common sense question. Support will be provided for branding millet products nationally and internationally, because India is going to be the leader in millets production and its commercialization. So definitely branding internationally and nationally is going to be a viable option. So both the options were correct. So C is the correct option. Next question. Bahujan Hitay Bahujan Sukhay is the motto of All India Radio. It was a conventional question. Actually, it belonged to April 2022 current affairs. Next question. Now it's Mahila Kisan Sashakti-karan Pariyojana. So you understand, so many questions from the government policies. If you read it, you will understand sustainable agriculture livelihood opportunities for women in the agriculture. From the name of this program policy itself, you can understand Mahila Kisan Sashakti-karan Pariyojana. So definitely is going to be correct. To ensure food and nutrition, this is also correct, because you are talking about women empowerment. C, to enable women to have better access to inputs and services to the government and other agencies. That is how you are going to bring the empowerment. This is also correct. D option says to help women educate the rural folk. Now please understand, you are talking about rural agriculture women, and you are talking about that these women are going to educate the rural folk. So definitely this is the wrong answer. By common sense itself, you can understand this is wrong. Next question. He is talking about the aim of Jal Jeevan Mission. The aim of Jal Jeevan Mission. So ease of living, this is also correct. Har Ghar Jal, this is also correct. So all the options are correct. All the options are correct. So B is the correct answer. All the statements given are correct about the Jal Jeevan Mission, and this was the correct answer. Yes. Now, he is asking which is not correctly matched, So C was the correct answer. Great Circle is a novel which was written by, I am just giving you the name. Let me see. The name is, it's a novel by Maggie Shipp. It's a novel by Maggie Shipp. Just for your reference, C is the correct option. Next question. What is the Pandora Papers? Now, Pandora Papers was very much in the news, and the way we are talking about very recent Hindenburg case. So that is why this question was in the question paper. So it is basically, it is the project of investigation which leaked almost 12 million documents, which reveals the hidden wealth and money laundering by some of the world's richest and powerful people. So B was the correct answer. Now match the following. In this, I think, yes, V. Shanta was a very famous doctor for cancer. So it should be P and 4. So directly you can say A is the correct option. Akhtar Ali, he is basically a former Davis Cup coach. Sumitra Bhave is the film director, and Anil Dharkar is a noted journalist. So this is the correct answer, A option. Next question. Zero hunger as per the sustainable development goal. So Kerala and Chandigarh is the correct option, because in terms of the states, Kerala is at the first position. In terms of union territory, Chandigarh is at the first place. Now he is talking about, yes, which one of the following is not correctly, this is incorrect. This is incorrect. I will tell you who has won the Pulitzer Prize in feature writing. Just give me one moment. I have noted it down. It's Jennifer Senior. It's Jennifer Senior. It's Jennifer Senior. Jennifer Senior, who has got the Pulitzer Prize in feature writing. Next question. Who among the following is India's first space tourist? His name is Santosh George Kulangra, and he has spent lot of money. He's the first tourist to the space, and he's from Kerala. He's from Kerala. He's from Kerala. The first man from India. The Wassenaar arrangement. Now, this was a very typical question. Very typical question. As India is getting hold in terms of international leadership, Wassenaar arrangement is going to be a next big platform after G20 where India can play a big role. So it is an elite club of countries which subscribe to arms export control, definitely. It's something like nuclear power treaty. Okay, it's something like nuclear power treaty which was in between America and the European countries. It is in between the developing countries, so definitely India can get a good hold over it. A is the correct option. So I think this is all from my side, and I'm going to invite one of the legendary faculty for mathematics, your favorite, my favorite, Ankit Joshi sir. So guys, just give your love, respect. Sir, over to you, sir.
Thank you, sir. Welcome to the session, students. So I will deal with the engineering mathematics part. So this is the very first question from engineering mathematics section. For what values of A and B, the vector field F vector x plus z I cap, a y plus z j cap and b x plus y k cap is a conservative field. Conservative field means irrotational field. Irrotational field means curl will be 0. So curl ultimately means del cross f, curl of f will be 0. So when you work out the curl of this vector and equate the individual components to 0, you will get a equal to b equal to 1. So this is the correct answer, option A. Simple question, curl of f equated to 0, and then you will get the individual components equated to 0, ultimately A equal to B equal to 1. Next. Yeah. So this is the question. The fixed point iterative scheme for determining, it should be determining root 2. So students, ultimately this question is from the solution of non-linear or transcendental equations, and this is basically from numerical methods. So students, we can definitely apply Newton-Raphson method to solve such questions. And what you have to do, what you have to find here, root 2. So just equate this root 2 with a variable x, squaring both sides, you will get x square. Bring 2 on the left hand side, you will get x square minus 2 equal to 0. So from this you can formulate the function f of x. In fact, you can write f of xn. So this will be xn square minus 2 and f dash xn. As per the Newton-Raphson formula, you need this as well. So 2xn. So students, you can apply the Newton-Raphson formula. What is that formula? N plus 1th iteration is xn minus f of xn upon f dash xn. So students, when you feed these values f of xn and f dash xn in this expression, you will ultimately get xn plus 1 equal to, yes, it should be, by mistake I guess both the options are typed same, but the correct answer should be, I'll just give you, it should be option D. The correct answer is option D. There is some mistake in this option, it should be minus or something else. So yeah, so 1 by 2 xn plus 2 upon xn should be the correct answer. 1 by 2 xn plus 2 upon xn. While typing this question, option C is wrongly typed as same as D. So anyways, you just follow option D as the correct answer. Next. Okay. So next question is again from numerical methods. You can see some jumbled options here. So Gauss-Seidel iterative method for the system of equations. Students, whenever Gauss-Seidel method has to be applied, you need to follow the concept of diagonal dominancy. Sir, what do you mean by diagonal dominancy? Diagonal dominancy means in your first equation, that variable should be, okay, your equation should be the first equation, or whichever equation should be the first equation, that you should think. So which equation should be the first one? In which the first variable is having the highest coefficient, highest value of the coefficient. Second equation will be that equation in which second variable is having the highest coefficient. So in this way, you just need to find out, we have got these four equations, 1, 2, 3 and 4. Since a lot has to be arranged on the single frame, you need to be keen enough to just observe it very keenly. Very keen observation is required. So students, I will just find out that there are four variables, x1, x2, x3 and x4. So x1 is not present in this equation. x1 is present here with coefficient minus 1 by 4. Here x1 is having the coefficient 1. So x1 is having the highest value of coefficient in this equation. So this equation should be my first equation. Now here x2 is having the highest coefficient, so it is our second equation. Similarly, here x3 is having the highest coefficient, so this is my equation 3, and here x4 is having coefficient 1, which is the highest value of the coefficient in all these four equations. So this is my equation 4. Now from equation 1, just find out x1. So x1 will be 1 by 2 and remaining terms are taken to the right hand side. So 0.5 plus 0.25 x2 plus 0.25 x3. Just see, 0.5 plus 0.25 x1 plus 0.25 x3 we need, right? So which option we should mark here? Option B. Just check with option B. Option B kahan hai bhai? Yes. So x1 is 0.5 plus 0.25 x2 plus 0.25 x3. x1 is 0.5 plus 0.25 plus 0.25, right? So this one is correct. Now second one, x2. x2 kahan se milega? Where will get x2? x2 can be obtained from this equation. So it is 0.5 plus 0.25 x1 plus 0.25 x4. Check it. 0.5, 0.25 x1, 0.25 x4. This one is also correct one. The third option, x3. It is 0.25, 0.25, again 0.25 and again 0.25. So all the three coefficients on the right hand side are 0.25. Yes, this is my third equation. And x4 can be obtained from this equation, which is 0.25 plus 0.25 x2, yes, plus 0.25 x3. So in this way, these are the four equations which can be obtained by applying the concept of diagonal dominancy, and hence option B is the correct one. Just have the complete look of this entire question. Let's move to the next. So student, I believe that this is the question. Even if you know this question, you cannot solve it in an exam like ESE Prelims, because this is really a lengthy question. Now, so this is based on some basic concept. What is that concept? The values of x are called as arguments. The values of y are called as entries. If you observe the values of x are all equally spaced, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There exists a common difference h between the values of x. So here one of the value of y is absent. This value is absent. So how to solve this? This can be solved using this formula, delta raised to number of entries given. How many entries given? 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 entries are given. So delta raised to 4, f of x equal to 0. What is this delta? This delta is forward difference operator. This delta can be replaced by e minus 1, where e is the forward shift operator. And this is the direct relationship between delta and e. Delta equal to e minus 1, f of x. And students, this equation is true for all values of x. But remember, you can get a solvable value only when you put the smallest possible value of x available in this table. So smallest possible value of x available here is 1. So if you just expand it, e raised to 4 minus 4e cube plus 6e square, then what next? Minus 4e plus 1. And outside the bracket we are having f of x, and value of x is nothing but 1. I said that you need to apply the lowest possible value. Now e raised to 4 f of 1. So value of this argument will be incremented by 4 interval. So it will become f of 5. 4 times e raised to 3 f of 1. Value of this argument incremented by 3 interval. 6 times e square f of 1. So value of the argument incremented by 2 interval. It will become 3. Minus 4 f of 2. 1 will become 2 after multiplication or after operation with e, plus f of 1. Now in this table, all other values are given except f of 4. So when you put all the values from this table and solve for f of 4, you will get the answer as 14, I guess. Yes, 14 should be the correct answer. Putting all these values, f of 4 will be unknown. You will get f of 4 as 14. Option C. Next. This is again one of the lengthiest question, largest solution. So student, they are asking for f dash 0.2. F dash 0.2. Using the formula for Newton's forward interpolation, you can have the expression for delta dash. Okay, you can have the expression for f dash a. So f dash a having the coefficient h. So it is delta f of a minus 1 by 2 delta square f of a plus 1 by 3 delta cube f of a minus 1 by 4 delta raised to 4 f of a plus and so on. This will go up to infinite. So student, you need to work out the forward difference table using this data. From that table you will get these values: delta f of a, delta square f of a, delta cube f of a, and delta raised to 4 f of a. What is the step size h here? Step size is, what is the difference between these two? The step size is h equal to 0.2. So when you put all these values, and solve, you will get the answer as 3.2, I guess. Yes. So 3.2, option D will be the correct answer. This is the key formula. If you remember this formula, then only these questions are solvable in exams like ESE Prelims. Otherwise, you cannot solve in the prescribed time. Next. Yes. So students, this is a question, conceptual question. Ideally, it should take a large amount of time, but if you have some basic concepts, you can apply some tricks. This can be solved easily. So x1, x2, x3, these are the 3 vectors given. Eigenvectors given for this matrix A. Okay. We need to find matrix A raised to 5. Now remember, eigenvectors of A and A raised to 5 are exactly same. No doubt at all. Only eigenvalues will change. So what I will do, I have the logic that if I am having a square matrix B, if it is multiplied by its eigenvector x, then it should give me its eigenvalue multiplied by x. Okay. So if I check with option A, option A is this matrix, and this matrix is say B, and B is nothing but A raised to 5. Then this B is multiplied with the first eigenvector, pehla eigenvector 1 1 1. Let us check what you are getting. See, 32 plus 31 minus 31. So ultimately you are getting 32. Then 33, 32 minus 33. Ultimately you will get 32 here. Row into column, 33, 31 and minus 32. Again, you will be getting 32 if you solve this. So if you take 32 common, which vector you are getting? 1 1 1. So ultimately you can say that B is this matrix multiplied by eigenvector 1 1 1 is giving us some eigenvalue 32 further multiplied by the same eigenvector x. Now students, the same logic repeats for these 2 vectors also. So option A, the matrix present in option A is satisfying all the 3 eigenvectors in this equation. Now while doing so, you will be getting the coefficient of x on the right hand side, and these are the corresponding eigenvalues. So corresponding eigenvalues you will obtain as 32 minus 1 and plus 1, I guess. Okay. So the 3 eigenvalues the 3 eigenvalues will be 32, minus 1 and plus 1, and ultimately the sum of eigenvalues should be equal to trace of this matrix. Check कर लीजिए. Let us check this. So addition of this diagonal elements is nothing but 32, and product of eigenvalues lambda 1, lambda 2, lambda 3 should be equal to determinant of this, and ultimately you will find it as minus 32. So students, option A is true at all the fronts. So you can just check with option A. That will be the correct approach, prescribed approach. Yes, thank you. Moving to the next. Students, this particular question is based on quadratic form to orthogonal form transformation. So students, what you can do, you can write the matrix corresponding to this. So this equation is present in the quadratic form. We will be writing a matrix corresponding to this. So how to write that matrix? I'll just show you. So degree 2 elements, the coefficients of degree 2 elements should be placed on the diagonal. 4, 4 and 1. And see here, x1, x2 can be obtained. So this is first row second column, and this is second row first column. So at these two positions, this coefficient will be splitted equally. So minus 2 is if divided by 2, it will be minus 1 here and minus 1 here, and rest of the elements are all 0. Now students, if you consider one matrix capital X as x1, x2 and x3, then if you do one calculation, x transpose into q into x, then you will get this p of x. Okay, so this is the logic behind this. So this is the matrix corresponding to the quadratic form, and we want to convert this matrix into corresponding orthogonal form. So what you can do? So ultimately you have to consider this matrix, and you have to form a diagonal matrix. How that diagonal matrix can be formed? Please see here. Diagonal matrix is a model matrix, its inverse, multiplied by the given matrix Q, and further multiplied by the model matrix B. So this diagonal matrix will be ultimately containing the eigenvalues on its diagonal. So when you find out the eigenvalues of this particular matrix, you will find that the eigenvalues of matrix Q, they are 1, 3, 5 or 1, 5, 3, whatever is the sequence you can follow. Okay, so these are the eigenvalues. So eigenvalues can be arranged on the diagonal. So this is our matrix D. Now, students, now do one stuff. Consider y1, y2, y3 in this row format. Then write this diagonal matrix whose diagonal elements are 1, 5 and 3. Rest of the elements are all 0. And the same y1, y2, y3 in column form. So when you solve this, you will get that y1 square will be having coefficient 1, y2 square will be having coefficient 5, and 3 times y3 square. So 1, 5, 3 are the coefficients of y1 square, y2 square and y3 square. Option B is the correct answer. All right. So let's move to the next. What is the general solution of a homogeneous differential equation with the characteristic equation? So students, ultimately what we can do, this is the auxiliary equation written for a particular differential equation. So you will just find out these roots. So lambda equal to 0 is repeated 3 times. Lambda equal to 0, 0, 0. So 0 is repeated 3 times. So these are 3 roots. Lambda plus 4 whole square. It means minus 4 is repeated 2 times. Yes, sir. And then we have lambda square plus 2 lambda plus 5. It means minus 1 plus 2 lambda is repeated twice. Minus 1 plus minus 2 I is repeated twice. This value is repeated twice. We can say this is lambda 1, 2 and 3. This is 4 and 5. And this is 6 and 7. So ultimately 7 roots are there. So 3 equal roots. The corresponding CF will be C1 plus C2x plus C3x square. C1 plus C2x plus C3x square. Then I'll just note down this. C1, the complete solution will be C1 plus C2x plus C3x square. Then this root minus 4 is repeated twice. So C4 plus C5x, and outside the bracket I must have e raised to minus 4x. Then we have, this is alpha and this is beta. Alpha is minus 1, beta is 2. So what you can write here? E raised to minus alpha x. Up to C5 we have used. So I will use C6, C7, C8 and C9 constants. So e raised to minus x, I am writing C6 plus C8x and cos beta x. Beta is 2. Then I will write C7 plus C9x and it is sin 2x. So if you check with the options, which option is correct? Check it. C1 plus C2x plus C3x square. Yes. C4 e raised to minus 4x. C5x e raised to minus 5x. E raised to minus x is already out. C6 cos 2x. C7 sin 2x. Correct. C8x cos 2x. Yes, sir. C9x sin 2x. So option D works here. Next. So students, this is again a lengthy question, but you can check with the options. But ultimately, this is a linear differential equation. Its solution is CS equal to CF plus PI. So I have already worked out the CF and PI, obtained the initial, applied the initial conditions, obtained the solution for you. So I will just note down CF and PI and give you the complete solution for this particular question, as this is a lengthy question. Yeah. So students, I obtained the CF as, no doubt you can get the detailed PDF solution, and very near future we will be providing you the detailed solution when you have ample amount of time and patience to see all this. Yeah. So C1 e raised to minus x plus C2 e raised to minus 3x. So this is the CF. What about the PI? So PI will be PI is x by 2 e raised to minus x. Now complete solution is nothing but CF plus PI. So when you add all this and apply the initial conditions given here, now the complete solution you obtain as 13 by 4 plus x by 2, 13 by 4 plus x by 2, then we have e raised to minus x minus 5 by 4. Let us check with the options which option is correct. Option A, 13 by 4 plus half x e raised to minus x. Yes. Minus 5 by 4 e raised to minus 3x. Option A should be the correct answer. Next. So student, this is really a simple question. So Laplace of f of t is given as this function. Let us say this is f of s. What do you want? We want the Laplace of f of 3t. So by change of scale property, it is 1 by a f of s by a, that is s by 3. So what you need to do, wherever you have s, that s should be replaced by s by 3. So I guess option D is the correct answer. In this function, wherever you have s, that s should be replaced by s by 3. S should be replaced by S by 3. Yes, option D is the correct answer. Moving to the next. So students, again this question can be easily solved using the concept of Laplace transform. So ultimately what you need to do, you need to write this equation in the form of dashes. Then what? Then you need to take the Laplace transform both sides. So Laplace of double derivative is s square y of s minus s y of 0. Small y of 0 is 1. So s into 1 minus y dash 0. So y dash 0 is given as 0. No need to write that. Okay, I'll write it here. So this is the Laplace of first part. Then Laplace of y of t is simply y of s. And on the right hand side, we are having this integration. And this integration is sin tau y of t minus tau. So ultimately this is convolution between sin t and y of t. So when you take Laplace, it will be simply Laplace of sin t multiplied by y of s. So Laplace of sin t is 1 upon s square plus 1 y of s. So students, you can work out the value of y of s. So y of s is taken to the left hand side, s square plus 1. This is brought to the left hand side. And then this minus s is brought to the right hand side. Okay, now y of s, after taking LCM, s square plus 1 brought to the numerator. Now s square plus 1 whole square minus 1. So students, what else we can do here? S square plus 1, this is s raised to 4 plus 2s square, 1 and 1 gets cancelled. So if you take s square common, 1s will be cancelled. Ultimately you will get s and s square plus 2 in the denominator. S is cancelled. Now you have remaining s square plus 1. So I am doing s square plus 1 that is plus 2. So minus 1 will be the adjustment for that. If you separate it, what you will get? S square by 2 cancel, you will get 1 by s minus 1 upon this bracket. So I will be doing the partial fractions. So 1 upon s minus 1 upon s square plus 2. So बच्चा लोग, I have just done the partial fractions. So s square cancel, you are getting an extra 2 in the numerator. To adjust it, I am just multiplying by 1 by 2. So 1 by s minus what you are having? S square minus s square cancel, 2 to cancel. Ultimately you are having 1 upon the product of these two and minus sign. Now you just go with the inverse Laplace. So inverse Laplace of 1 by s is 1. Then 1 by 2, 1 by 2, and inside the bracket Laplace inverse of 1 by s is 1, and Laplace inverse of this term will be cos root 2 t, and this is all available for t greater than 0. Now if you just check here, 1 minus 1 by 2 is 1 by 2, and minus minus plus again 1 by 2, and this cosine term. So now check, 1 by 2 is taken common, 1 plus cos root 2 t. So I guess option B is the correct one. Option B is the correct one. Moving to the next question. Students, again this question is a bit conceptual, but this can be easily and quickly solved when we go with the options. So students, what I am trying to do, I will just put n equal to 2 in this expression. So when I put n equal to 2, my last term will be 4 into 2, 8 plus 1, 9. So I will get 159 upon 2 square. So for n equal to 2, I am getting a2 equal to 1 into 5 into 9 upon 2 square. So I am getting 45 upon 4. This is my A2. Now, if I check with option A, what I am getting? A2. Putting n equal to 2. 2 raised to 4, that is 16. I am getting gamma 2 plus 5 by 4, that is 13 by 4. And in denominator, I am having gamma 1 by 4. So all my dear students, 16 as it is, gamma 13 by 4 can be worked out as 9 by 4, 5 by 4 and 1 by 4, further followed by gamma 1 by 4, and this gamma 1 by 4 in the numerator will strike out the gamma 1 by 4 in the denominator. These two terms will get cancelled. So 4 4s are 16, cancelling this 16, 9 5s are 45 upon 4. So I can clearly say that option A is easily satisfying. For n equal to 2, you can check with the other values also. So ultimately option A will be the correct answer. Now students, this is again a question based on Fourier series, but yes, this is a lengthy question. So students, f of x equal to x plus 1, and this is in the interval -1 to +1. So students, this Fourier series is having 3 components, DC component, then we have cosine components, n equal to 1 to infinity, n cos. Yeah, the argument should be 2 pi n f naught x, 2 pi n f naught x. So f naught is 1 by 2. So ultimately you will be getting n pi x as the argument here. Then one more summation from n equal to 1 to infinity, bn sin n pi x, same argument. Now students, I have pre-calculated results for you. This a naught, the DC component, is 1, that is the average value. An is worked out as 0, and bn is worked out as -2 by n pi -1 to the power n. Okay, so when you substitute all these values, in this format for Fourier series, what you are getting? Option C, 1 plus 2 by pi -1 to the power n plus 1 upon n sin n pi x. Yeah. Students, this particular question is from Fourier transform, and we have tried to generate the solution for this. We obtained the solution as well, but we found that none of the options are matching. So let us see what we obtained here. So ultimately we want the Fourier transform of 3f of x minus 2g of x. So students, what you can do, this f of x is 1 in the interval mod x to a, means from minus a to plus a, the value is 1. This is my x, and ultimately this is f of x. Very nice. Then further, what is g of x? G of x is 1 in the interval 0 to a. So that is only on the right hand side. And the amplitude is, height is 1 only. Now, 3 times f of x. I am just drawing the sketch for it. Ultimately, the interval will be minus a to 0, one set of values, and 0 to a, another set of values. And this is 3f of x minus 2g of x. Yeah. So 3 times in this interval minus a to 0, 3 times 1, that is 3. 3 minus 0 will be 3. So ultimately you will get the height 3. Now in the interval 0 to a, this is 1, and 3 into 1 will be 3. 3 minus 2 will be 1. So this is this function. Now we have the formula to calculate the Fourier transform f of omega. This can be calculated from minus a to 0. You can integrate 3 into e raised to minus j omega x dx, and in the interval 0 to a you have to integrate 1 into e raised to minus j omega x. And students, this is a simple integration, and finally you will get the answer as 6 by omega sine a omega plus 2 upon j omega and e raised to minus j omega minus 1. So this is my answer, and since this answer is not matching with any of the options, we will come up with more filtered solution if we get some more updates. But as of now, my answer is this one. So I don't find that any of the options are correct as of now. So thank you, students. That's all from my side. And now my friend and colleague Sonu Chauhan sir will be joining with new set of questions. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Okay. So yes. So the next subject is standard and quality practice in maintenance, production, service and construction. Yes. So the question is, Six Sigma give the precision of, very simple question, 99.9997. We have discussed in the class Six Sigma, and this year near about 4 questions you have seen from the Six Sigma topic, my dear. So one question, yeah, answer is absolutely right. That is the next one. So let's see the next question. Second one, question number 2. Let's see. Yes, second question. Again related to the Six Sigma. What is the question? Consider the following statement with respect to with reference to Six Sigma. It is the methodology for the structural, process oriented and the systematic quality improvement process. Absolutely right. It provides a systematic approach for the quality and the process in improvement rather than being just a collection of the tool. Yes, it's an approach, it's methodology, systematic approach for the quality improvement rather than these 7 quality control tool, whatever we have discussed, like histogram and these all the 7 control tool. It is the rigorous, data-driven decision-making approach to analyze the root cause of the problem. Is absolutely right. It is a complete process of the Six Sigma. Then definitely 1, 2, 3, all 3 are the correct answer. So the correct answer of this question is D. Can you please write in the comment section how many of you have selected this answer as a correct? This D is the correct answer of this question. Let's move forward and see the next question in this series. Question number 3 is, yes, as Six Sigma level increase, as the level of the Sigma increase, like 1 Sigma, 2 Sigma, 3 Sigma, as the level is going to increase, then what will be the effect? Definitely the cost of poor quality will decrease and the customer satisfaction will increase. So let's see, the cost of poor quality will goes up. No, cost of poor quality will goes down. Yes, and the customer satisfaction will goes up. C is the correct answer. Let's move forward. Question number 4. Consider the following statement regarding the design of the Six Sigma. Concept of Six Sigma named, initiated at the Motorola. Yes, absolutely right. Bill Smith was the founder member. So again, it was initiated by Bill Smith, and again company was, he was just a quality design engineer in a Motorola company. So absolutely right. What was the goal of the Six Sigma? The goal is to arrive at 3.4 defect per million opportunity. Like you can say DPMO. Exactly. So if we talk about the DPMO of Six Sigma, definitely it is 3.4 is again absolutely right. And after that, Sigma is used to compare the expected outcome versus the failure in the total population. It is absolutely right. It defines the quality or the comparison of the failure. So 1, 2, 3, all 3 are correct. Answer is again D. Question number 4. 4 questions we have seen from a single topic, that is the Six Sigma, and I hope maximum of you have selected this answer. Next question, question number 20. Consider the following statement for the multi-stage characterization in infinite number of the stage k is equal to infinite. Let me tell you, this question is completely related to the reliability topic. I think this is not mentioned. Let me share these all the 4 options. क्या क्या इसके option थे? First of all, let me share there are 4 different options of this topic, my dear. Yes. Let's see first next question, and after that we are coming back on this 20th question. Question number 57, that is the last question of the standard and quality. The machine shop produced the part machined from the stock material and finish the casting, forging, etc. requiring the machine surface. Absolutely right. Statement 1 and 2 we need to find. This is just like a assertion and reasoning type of question. So in this case, what exactly the question? The machine shop produced the part machine from the stock material and finish the casting, forging, etc. required machine surface. Absolutely right statement. Now come to the second statement. Is it the exact region of the question number, point number 1 or not? Let's come to the point. In the machine shop, machining operation remove metal either to make the smoother or more accurate surface. Absolutely right. By planing, facing, milling, etc. or to produce a surface previously existing as by drilling, punching and etc. So if you will check, the second statement says because in the machine shop machining operation remove the metal either to make the smoother or more accurate by these all the 3 process or to produce the surface. Yes, let me tell you, this drilling process and punching process is not a surface producing process. So definitely this statement is wrong, because this one is not going to produce the surface. So this statement is wrong. This statement is absolutely correct. So question is very clear to us. A is correct, and statement 1 is correct and 2 is absolutely wrong. Answer is C for Chennai will be the correct answer. So these are the 4-5 questions related to standard and quality we have discussed. After that, let's see the next question of energy topic. Yes, question number 18. This question is related to energy. After that, Joseph sir is coming to discuss the number of important questions related to environment. I am here just to discuss the part of the energy one, and after that Joseph sir will join to discuss the question related to environment. So let's see this question. Question number 18. Consider the following non-reliability performance measure of an automobile industry. Non-reliability performing measurement or the factor. So definitely yes, fuel efficiency is absolutely the right answer. Economic efficiency, mileage is also the right answer. Quality of ride, it means suspension system, is also the right answer. And after that, emission or ppm is also the right answer. So what is the correct answer? All are the measure of the automobile industry if you want to check the quality. So 1, 2, 3 and 4, yes, D for Delhi will be the correct answer. After that, let's move forward and see the next question. Question number 32. Again related to energy part. Consider the following statement. Energy balance are the fundamental for the energy planning, since they allow the analyzing aspects such as distribution of the final energy consumption per end user sector, storage and refinement of each fuel and group of the energy in the matrix, self-sufficient in the energy, foreign dependency and the foreign trade, efficiency in the process for the transforming primary energy into the secondary. So again, which of the following statement are not correct? In this option, you need to select what exactly is the incorrect statement. So again, if we talk about this, since they allow analyzing the aspect, then answer is absolutely right. That is, this is the only point which is incorrect. Storage and refinement of each fuel and group of the energies in the matrix. So answer is only 2. A is the correct answer of this question. Let's move forward and see the question number 33. Again related to energy, which one of the following is not the advantage of energy efficiency? Loss या फिर disadvantage क्या है? You can say the cost of the energy economy is usually smaller than that of the its generation. Security of the supply increase and the resource which are finite saved. There are micro and macroeconomic gains associated with the with an increase in the productivity and in the industrial compatibility. And after that, access to the energy service is decreased. So these are the four options. Which of the following is not the correct option, or the advantage? Which of the following is not the advantage of energy? Such access of the energy service is decreased, not decreased. It is going to increase. Definitely wrong statement. So D is the correct answer of this one. Let's move forward and see the last question of the energy from my side. So consider the following factor determining the evolution of the energy intensity. Means evolution year by year. What is the evolution of this energy intensity? You need to check these all the 4 points, and after that you need to check out of these all the important point 1, 2, 3. Which of the following is going to represent the factor determine the evolution of the energy? Means first of all demetallization. Yes, जो आप paperless work कर रहे हो, then definitely it is the best example. Absolutely right. Fuel use intensity change. Yes, it is also the factor defining the evolution of the energy. And after that, recycle is also one of the important process that define the evolution of the energy. So what will be the answer? Answer from here, it will be A, B and C. So this is all about the energy and the standard and quality from my side. After that, Joseph sir is coming. Sir, over to you.
Okay sir. Thank you so much sir. चलिए सर फटाफट से आगे बढ़ते हैं एंड दिस इज गोइंग टू बी एनवायरनमेंट राइट, और एनवायरनमेंट के बाद हम करेंगे आईसीटी, दैट इज द लास्ट सब्जेक्ट. ठीक है भाई, कौन कौन है कमेंट बॉक्स में एक बार प्लीज बताएंगे. एंड शुरू करते हैं. कैसा हुआ पेपर ये भी बता सकते हो आप लोग. सबसे पहले अगर हम बात करें, जो आया है सवाल आपके फॉर दिस क्वेश्चन, द ब्रिटिश इकोनॉमिस्ट निकोलस टन गेव द मोस्ट इंप्रेसिव analysis in the year 2006 on what he actually gave on climate change. ठीक है, it was related to climate change. Next, surface rock on earth are cool, but as you go below the temperature increases. This phenomena is actually called as geothermal gradient. Next is, which of the following is not correct? The formation of mountain, this is correct. Rock between, this is correct. This is wrong over here. So this is your right answer, which is option C. आगे बढ़ूंगा मैं. ओजोन डिप्लीशन आर मोस्ट हार्मफुल बायोलॉजिकल सिस्टम इन हार्मफुल टू बायोलॉजिकल सिस्टम इन अ वैरायटी ऑफ वेज. ये बिल्कुल सही स्टेटमेंट है. ओजोन डिप्लीशन इन स्ट्रेटोस्फेयर, मतलब ये गुड ओजोन की बात हो रही है. दो तरह की होती है ना, गुड और बैड ओजोन. ये गुड की बात हो रही है. सो ओजोन डिप्लीशन इन स्ट्रेटोस्फेयर लीड्स टू द लॉस ऑफ फिल्टरिंग एबिलिटी ऑफ यूवी लाइट्स. दैट इज ऑल्सो करेक्ट. एंड अगर आप ध्यान से देखेंगे, इट इज द राइट एक्सप्लेनेशन ऑल्सो. सो ऑप्शन ए इज डेफिनेटली राइट. आखिरी सवाल है एनर्जी का. आई थिंक ऑल्ट्रेशन इन बोथ biotic and abiotic components of biosphere by mankind resulted in environmental degradation. बिल्कुल सही है. Major environmental problems are in fact the manifestation of the degraded environment at global level. ये भी बिल्कुल सही है, बट इन दोनों का आपस में कोई रिश्ता या नाता नजर नहीं आता. तो यहां से आपका ऑप्शन भी बिल्कुल करेक्ट है. आई थिंक हम डन हो चुके हैं एनवायरमेंट के साथ. अब हम बात करेंगे आईसीटी के बारे में, और आईसीटी के लिए मैं इनवाइट करूंगा मेरे साथ आप सभी लोगों के फेवरेट साकेत सर को. एंड चलिए सर, आईसीटी भी एक बार कंप्लीट करते हैं ताकि फिर हम टेक्निकल भी स्टार्ट कर देंगे सारे ब्रांचेस के लिए.
एवरीवन, सो लेट्स स्टार्ट विद द फर्स्ट क्वेश्चन ऑफ द आईसीटी. व्हिच वन ऑफ द फॉलोइंग डज नॉट ऑलवेज यील्ड एन ऑप्टिमल शेड्यूल, हाउएवर इट इज कैपेबल ऑफ यील्डिंग a good schedule for very complex network having many types of resources. The first option is algorithm, second optimum, and third is Bagos, and fourth is heuristics.
Right. Heuristic is the right answer.
Okay.
ठीक है. Next है आपके पास, it is related to sir frequency hopping
this is
spread
related to the frequency hopping spread spectrum. So we know that it is nothing but a spread spectrum technique which allows for the coexistence of the multiple networks in the same area by separating different network using the different hopping sequence, because the frequency should be different. That is nothing but a frequency hopping technique.
Right.
In the same area if you are using, then the frequency should be different. Okay. Then which one of the
ये सर क्वांटम से क्वांटम कंप्यूटिंग क्लासेस में भी मैंने बहुत बार पढ़ाया आप लोगों को, आशा करता हूँ सही करके आए होंगे। सबसे पहले चीज देखनी थी, नॉट रेलेवेंट बोला है रिलेटेड टू क्वांटम कंप्यूटिंग। क्वांटम कंप्यूटिंग इज दैट मच मोर पावरफुल फंक्शन मे बी कंप्यूटेड यूजिंग क्यूबिट्स एंड क्वांटम गेट्स, करेक्ट है। इसके बाद क्वांटम ऑपरेशन आर वेल अडेप्टेड डिस्क्राइब डिस्क्रीट चेंजेस ट्रांसफॉर्मेशन, बिल्कुल सही है। क्वांटम कंप्यूटेशन डज नॉट सपोर्ट एंटेंगलमेंट मेजरमेंट, यहां पे एक फिनोमेना होता है जिसको क्वांटम एंटेंगलमेंट बोलते हैं और सुपरपोजिशन बोलते हैं, जो यूज होता है जिसकी मदद से बड़ी बड़ी जो सेट ऑफ वैल्यूज है उनको एक्सेप्ट कर सकता है। इन्होंने बोला है कि डज नॉट सपोर्ट, यही आपका नॉट करेक्ट बोला है, इसीलिए सही है। क्वांटम कंप्यूटिंग इज द यूज ऑफ क्वांटम फिनोमिना, जहां पे सुपरपोजिशन में रहते हैं, आपका 0 1 एक साथ रहता है। मैंने बहुत बार एग्जांपल दिया है श्रोडिंगर्स कैट एक्सपेरिमेंट का, वही आपको यहां पे नजर आया होगा। एंड दे आर आल्सो सेइंग सुपरपोजिशन एंड एंटेंगलमेंट, जो मैंने अभी आपको बताया है, टू परफॉर्म द कंप्यूटेशन, ये राइट है। इन्होंने नॉट पूछा था, इसीलिए हमने सी यहां पे सही आंसर मार्क करवाया है। सर नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन इज रिलेटेड टू दिस।
A device which exhibits irregular or unpredictable response time. So because unpredictable we are saying, so something which is synchronized that will always be predictable. Okay, so here it is asking for what? Irregular. So for regular and synchronized we use, for predictable we use synchronized, so it should be asynchronous. Okay, because it is irregular and unpredictable.
All right.
Now coming to the next question. So which one of the following table is used by operating system to keep track many input output requests at the same time? So yes, the correct answer will be
device status table, ठीक है।
Take care of the input and output.
It is exactly like a directory which keeps the record when it happened, how it happened, where it happened, everything, सारा डिटेल इसमें रहता है, simultaneously it can work. Next question sir, I think एक छोटा सा प्यारा सा न्यूमेरिकल है जो,
so a stream of a video image that is 1/4 the size of a standard TV image. So the TV image is given and it has a resolution of 352 by 240, and if each pixel is response by the 24 bits, then we want to calculate approximate size of each frame. So what will be the procedure? Yes, so the pixel, how will you calculate? This is nothing but a 350 into 240, and how many bits we are using? 24 bits we are using, and divided by 8 because we want to use in the byte. Yes,
Right.
so the right answer will be 247.5.
okay.
So coming to the next question, what is the approximate effective throughput if user wants to fetch a 1 MB, this is megabyte, file across a 1 Gbps network with a round trip time of 100 nanosecond? So what is the approximate effective throughput? How will you calculate? That is nothing but a 1 megabyte divided by total time which is required, which is 100 plus 8, right? 100, and here it is.
This is like 1 mega, right? So we'll be changing it
Yes.
in bytes. So, it
So
will
1
be
into 8,
and how much time it has? 100. So 100 plus, and how much is the speed given us?
1
GB, and this is 1. So 1 into 8
8.
into 10 is to the power 9, and this would be, if we convert this in MB, then it will be 10 is to the power 9 as well.
Yes.
So from here, eventually we'll be getting, because this is nothing but we have to also
100
multiply
and,
it with
yes.
1000,
1000.
and this will give us 74.04.
Mbps.
Right, sir? So the right answer would be 74.1.
That is option B.
Superb.
Yes.
Moving on to the next question, so okay.
In a network, a continual channel with a one-way latency of 50 millisecond and a bandwidth of 45 Mbps is able to hold how many bits that fit in the pipe approximately? So here it is. This is bandwidth length product only. So this is the bandwidth, and the length you have to multiply, and then you will get the number of bits. This is just by the unit also you can play. This is 50 millisecond and this is 45 megabit per second. So just multiply that, you will get in bits. That is 2.25 into 10 to the power 6 bits.
Right. Next question is regarding the prominence in the internet architecture.
Yes.
All right. So let's talk about this. So programmers are free to define new channel abstractions or application that run on top of any existing protocol, which is right. Then it defines a common method for exchanging packets. Right. That is also correct. And it allows someone to propose a new protocol to be included in the architecture. So
That is
option.
correct. All the three statements are correct.
Right. Let's move to the next question.
Yes.
Yeah, this is related to the failure of a network.
And the network will fail.
राइट सो यहाँ पे बिल्कुल सही है. आउटसाइड जो भी आपका फोर्सेज है लाइक लाइटनिंग, पावर सर्ज, माइक्रोवेव ओवन्स, इंटरफेरेंस विद द ट्रांसमिशन ऑफ डेटा, it is possible. And yes, this is also very difficult to keep the track of the packets. And third is obviously because of the reckless backhoe and also a power failure or you can say power failure would be the right word, or there is another word I'm not getting it right now. So 1, 2, 3, which is option D. And I think so that's it, right? So this is it. This is the non-technical answer key for all the questions. We have done all the 100 questions. Now guys, we will be live for the technical part now. For civil mechanical, we will be live on Civil Mechanical EXE YouTube channel, and for your ESE, we'll be live on
in the BYJU'S Exam Prep ESE CSIN channel, right?
Okay. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Let's
And all the
meet
best.
next video. Right.
Yeah.